Welcome to the TIMFD podcast. Today is my favorite day is about appreciating every day as it comes, no matter what life throws at us. We hope that this podcast speaks to you, and if it does, please like, share, and comment. Now let's find out why today is our favorite day this week.
Well, Dave, welcome back. I see you got a Christmas box in front of you.
Yeah, first of all, can't wait for Thanksgiving to take place, right?
Yep.
But we're right in the middle of the collection week for Operation Christmas Child. This is something that our church has been involved with for a really long time with Franklin Graham. What you do is you fill out one of these boxes, fill up a box or two with the particular things that they ask you to put in there. It could be from a toothbrush to kids' toys and that kind of thing, different age brackets, and it gets sent around the world.
Yes.
And it's really kind of cool. And you could track it. Tanya and I do 7 of them. That represents all of our grandkids and kids. So that's what we do. And we want to encourage you guys, especially those who are at the harbor, please turn this in. This weekend is the last weekend to do it.
Yep.
And anyone that's watching this that is not at our church, maybe a different state, you can still turn them in. You still got this coming weekend to get them in. So just wanted to put that there.
So we're right in the middle of this right now. So really pay attention to that. The last day is the 21st.
Yep.
And so that's just a few days away. And if you have any questions about it and you're seeing this and you say, I haven't even heard of that.
Go on Operation Christmas Child.
Go on Operation Christmas Child. Give the church a call, but one way or another. We're coming into the holidays.
Yeah.
I worked under a pastor who was a bah humbug.
Oh, not me.
Yeah, I know.
No, if I could do Griswold Christmas, I'd do it every time.
There you go.
We actually used to do at this church Griswold Christmas. We call it joke. Yeah, we joked about it because we put lights over everything. It was out of control, crazy. Obviously, I was a little younger then. And then some people got some sandy around it and said, let's make this clean looking and nice. And a lot of our ladies got involved. And I must admit, it looks a lot nicer when we do it. We don't have things up yet because this coming weekend is actually when we decorate the church too.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So there's all that going on. And by the way, on Operation Christmas Child, I forgot to say this, we are a collection station too. Yes. So there's many churches in your area around the country in which you look for the collect. All you have to do is go Operation Christmas Child, look for collection places, and you'll see a church somewhere in the area that you can go drop the boxes off. They have the boxes there too, so you go get them. And you could also do it online.
Yeah.
You could actually just order online and pay them online, and they'll make a box for you. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. They track them. There's a little paper that you fill out, and you can track your box, see where it goes. It's really a pretty cool operation.
And they have a gospel that's in gospel things they put in these boxes, and then they have people that are in these different places around the world where they're kind of missionaries for it. And so they'll go to the town or whatever, and they have all the boxes ready to give out, and they give the gospel. And it does a lot of really good things. It opens up a lot of doors to be able to help people as well.
So prior to Christmas comes Thanksgiving. What are some of your traditional Thanksgiving holiday events or food?
Yeah, when I grew up, we got together with another family, and had this huge long table at my parents' house that it was, and I shouldn't say table, it was a number of tables put together, and everyone brought a dish. So no one got loaded up with any pressure, and I love that. So everybody came in with their own things. It was a lot of fun that way, and we didn't dress up. We used paper plates and paper cups and all that kind of stuff because no one wanted to clean afterwards.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't sound, Hallmarkish and all that stuff.
Right.
Like I said, I don't come from that background, but man, we just had so many games. We played tons of games, had a great time when I was a kid. As I got married, we hung out a lot with Tanya's side of the family. We actually, because we lived on this side, and there were times we were in 4 generations. Oh, wow. So that was kind of cool too.
That's cool.
A little more fancy sometimes, but then we talked her mom into not making it so pressure packed because it was all on her shoulders at one time. She wanted to do that. I go, we didn't do that in our home.
Yeah.
So then, we bring things, they brought stuff and it reduced the pressure, and watched a lot of football, honestly. Prayed, but then did a lot of football. One other thing, and then I'll let Sam go on his. Tanya came up with this thing I thought was great. She saw it, I think, with Focus on the Family, where you did thankful notes. So we had this jar, and we had these, notes next to it that you could just pull out any time throughout the year, write a Thanksgiving fold it up and throw it inside the jar.
Oh, okay.
And so that started right on the day of Thanksgiving. The next day, it started again.
A new jar.
And then when Thanksgiving came around, we'd open up and read them and put them in the journal. It was really kind of neat.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
So we did that when Rebecca and Shayna were younger. It was a lot of fun. Lately, now that we've been out of the home, I mean, we don't have any kids, we have grandkids. We hang out with the grandkids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's always cool, hanging out with the grandkids anytime.
Well, when they were younger, I actually played football against them.
Oh, okay.
It was me against them.
Oh,
Especially when they were really young.
Yeah.
And we played on this little grass space, and I would be the commentator as we're doing it, and I would let them win at the end.
Yeah.
And they'd kind of do that kind of stuff. But it was a lot of fun. Now they could all pick me up and crush me.
Right. There's some big boys there.
Big guys.
Yes. Yeah. Growing up, we did a lot of holidays at my grandmother and grandfather's house. On my mom's side. I like to think it was a big, long table, but I've been back to the house.
If it's one table, I know you think it's big, but it's not.
I know. And when you're that age, and my grandmother insisted on doing everything. Now, one thing about my grandmother, she's a good cook. She was a great pie maker. She made terrible cakes. I mean, they were almost not, she insisted on doing them from scratch, right? Anyway, I remember that and the whole carving the turkey. Now, I grew up outside of Philadelphia, and when we'd go to the house, I believe that was hunting weekend. Mm. So my uncle and my grandfather, they ate and they were gone.
Okay.
Went up to
a lot of hunters would do that.
Yeah.
Actually, I did that one time. Went hunting a little bit on Thanksgiving. It's first and only time I've done that.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was fun. I mean, I'm a city kid, so that's not something that I would not normally do, but it was kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I asked my grandfather before I moved from the East Coast why I never was invited. And he said, "Your mother." So
that would make sense.
That makes sense. I don't understand that. I think it wasn't the hunting she was against. I know it wasn't hunting she was against, but it was the guns. And because she never shot them. She never did anything like that.
Yeah.
So, and then we used to have a Christmas tree that went from the ceiling to the floor to the ceiling, and it went up after Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
But it didn't get decorated until Christmas Eve.
No way.
Yeah.
How wild.
And so I did not. That was my parents' way of basically getting us prepared, and then the whole Santa Claus thing, right? Until I got old enough, and I don't know how they did it, because I have 4 sisters, right? And so they would decorate after everybody went to bed on Christmas Eve, and it took hours. Yeah, and we had this electric train set up and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, it was, and the tree was always beautiful. My mom really loved that kind of stuff.
I like to get that tree up and going right around Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving is done, I try to get everything up and running. Love all that. And it's a lot of fun. But Thanksgiving itself, don't want to pass up that. Whatever traditions you guys have, whatever you do, do them, have a lot of fun. We just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving today.
Yep.
God bless you.
Yep.
And before Thanksgiving comes in, and then we'll get into Christmas, right?
Yep. So over the years, you mentioned your Thanksgiving traditions have changed.
Yes.
So what are your plans this year?
I don't know yet. We don't know if Shayna's going to be in town. We don't know, if the boys are going to be in town. There was like a Thanksgiving where no one was in town, and so Tanya and I just enjoyed ourselves. We just went, okay, we're by ourselves. Let's go do something different, and we did that. So it really depends. Now that we're older, and kids and grandkids are starting to kind of spread out. Our first grandkid is now playing football up north, and he's not going to be down here for Thanksgiving. So I don't know if Shayna's going to go up there, and bring the other kids with her. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. She doesn't know yet because, life is right now so busy.
Right.
So right now our intention is to kind of just see what happens. And, if we don't have to cook, okay, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I usually was the cook.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, when Mom and Dad lived in the same town as my wife and I would do the cooking for Thanksgiving. At one point in time, they all did away with turkey. And I'm cooking prime rib. So,
nice.
Yeah. So that was a lot of our Thanksgiving traditions came out of that. Rita and I, when we moved down to Florida, everything changed. We used to have several people single older folks, they'd be over for Thanksgiving dinner.
Sure.
From the church and things like that. And that was in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And, that was our Thanksgiving. And we'd watch a little bit of football and everything. It was always nice to root for somebody to beat the Cowboys, And we moved down here, and our first Thanksgiving was, we moved in July, end of July, and then we didn't really know anybody,
Yeah.
And so it was the three of us, my wife and my mother-in-law and myself, and we just had a nice,
just
quiet,
hang
cozy,
out.
Yeah. And that's it. Now this year, I may have a full house.
Wow, that's cool.
We are hoping that our nieces
That's
and
right.
my sister-in-law are here out of Ukraine.
Yeah.
And but I like that
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving notes.
Cool.
That sounds like a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's neat. Especially if you have other people in the house. For us as Tanya and I, we could tell each other the Thanksgivings, but when we had the kids in the house, it was a lot of fun. It was fun to kind of hear what Rebecca, when she was really young, writing, and what Shayna wrote when she was 10, 11, 12, up to 16, 17. But I remember a couple of Thanksgivings where Shayna and the boys were down at her husband's house down in Naples with her husband's parents' house. And so we were here. And Rebecca came over on her motorcycle, and we'd sit down and just have, what we did is we went and got I think we made tacos one time. Another time we made, I think there was 2 of these. And the other one was, I think we just got some turkey legs and just it was hilarious. Yeah. And we were all going, we don't care to cook.
Yeah.
Let's just hang out and talk. And that's what we did. Yeah. And then our daughter took off on her motorcycle and we were hanging out.
Yeah.
So
I pretty much get the cooking duties, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So I've cooked turkeys 100 different ways, I think.
That's cool.
We had when we were in the restaurant, believe it or not, the most tender turkey we had, we boiled.
You boiled one?
Yeah.
Because I know that people do it with peanut oil and that
I've
kind
done
of
that
stuff.
too.
Mm-hmm. It was really good. I remember when someone did that.
Most people's big mistake with that is the turkey's not completely thawed out when they put it in boiling
it just
oil.
Goes crazy
all over the place.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Not at all.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
So here's the recommendation. Do not put a frozen turkey in a boiling pot of oil.
Absolutely.
That would be bad.
Absolutely.
So, it's some protection things we do. See, we're good.
Yeah.
We are everything. We help everybody out with everything.
Yep. You gone Black Friday shopping?
I've gone Black Friday shopping a ton. Used to do it all the time, especially when the girls were younger and when the grandsons were young. Mm-hmm. We would go out and do that. And that was with, we'd go with Tanya and myself and Shayna and usually Connie. And we would just go out and do that and have a good time. And sometimes sometimes it was pretty bad. And then after a while I went, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't do it anymore.
Okay.
I don't do it.
What was your job?
Oh, I would go out and carry things or, move things and stay behind and put it in the, cart and walk the cart around. Yeah, of course.
My job was to get in line as soon as it started.
Oh, that was smart.
Yeah. And so I would
did that.
Be in line with an empty cart. And then
now that's
my wife
strategy.
And mother-in-law, they'd be bringing stuff in. And then when we got about anywhere from 5 to 10 people away, I'd, text them or call them and say, hey, you got to wrap it up because I'm not giving up my spot in line.
I love that. As George Bush would say, that's strategery.
Yes.
Strategery. But that's cool. I never even thought about that. Yeah, no.
We haven't done that much Black Friday shopping recently. Mm-hmm. When in Wyoming, when it's 30 below and you want to, I ain't standing outside waiting for the doors to open.
No, Florida, it could get crazy here.
Yep.
I mean, people can get nuts. And the last time I did it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. And I just went, this is not really worth it. And also you can start purchasing things online.
Right.
What do they call those sales that come on online? Is it Monday? I think it's called, what is it called?
Cyber
Monday. I'm asking Alex over here, our trusty tech person. Cyber Monday, I had to ask him. And so now Tanya does most of her stuff online. She purchases most things online.
I think you get better deals online
really?
than you do standing.
Wow.
That's what I do, the same thing. And so
one of our friends, Don Gourmets, he'll go out there and if he has a specific thing. Don just helps a lot of people around here in Tampa. If you've never met him, he's a real outgoing guy, just all over the place. All around the world helping people. And one thing he does is sometimes he'll come over here and go, hey guys, what do you need? What's their need? Because then on Black Friday, he goes out and gets it. He'll actually hunt the things down, hunt them and get them. So, if it's bikes or whatever. And he does that for a lot of different organizations. So the guy has a great heart, but he also loves that stuff. He's really into that. He worked for ABC News. He was one of those action reporters out in the weather and stuff. So he's used to being in the middle of everything and all that stuff. So there's people like that that are out there doing, awesome things. But Thanksgiving, getting up to Thanksgiving, there's so many things that go on. You got like an Operation Christmas Child. We have at our food pantry, we gave out a ton of food yesterday. It was a ton of food to a lot of families, but it's not just the regular food. It was for Thanksgiving, giving Thanksgiving meals. And so I thought that was pretty cool. We're getting ready for that same food pantry. All the kids, there's like 80-something kids that we are going to be as a church getting gifts for them. As they come through as we get closer to Christmas, but we have to plan for that now. That's that angel tree that we talked about. And so there's just a lot of things to be able to help people and to be there for people. And then the other thing too, Christoph Nord, one of the guys in our church had brought up, Dave, there's a lot of people that have lost pretty much everything, obviously down south, and some are wealthy and they really, they don't need the help, but there's others that had lost everything. And he's trying to figure out where they are and what need there is and what's not being filled. And we'll probably be doing something for those families as well. So there's just a lot of stuff that churches, if all the churches do that, which I believe a lot of them are in Florida right now with a heart to want to help, especially with the devastation. But we know what happens. All the big box guys, and government groups kind of leave. And then then it's our job to come in, and that's going to probably happen right after the holidays. And so we kind of know that we're trying to prepare for that. So Thanksgiving is a time of being thankful, giving adoration to God and giving thanks to God. There's a word in the scriptures, Eucharisteo, which is to give thanks, to give praise. And I think that we have a tendency to forget to be thankful and give gratitude to God. And so we're also we're right in the middle of a gratitude challenge in our church. So, we're trying to do whatever we can to get our heads in a better place. Because when we're grateful, we're healthier mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Our relationships are better. Our relationship with God's better. Think about that.
You're right. And you touched on a subject right there, Dave, with the mental side of it. This is a rough time for a lot of people. Very rough time. And so, folks, don't go it alone. We're not meant to go through this life alone. So if you are struggling through this time of holidays and you don't know what you're going to do, you don't know where the Thanksgiving meal is going to come from and things like that, reach out here to the harbor. We can direct you to mental health professionals. We can direct you to food pantries. We can direct you all different ways. And of course, we'd love to pray with you. So don't struggle. Don't go through it alone. Reach out. What's the old AT&T? Reach out and touch someone.
Tell them, And I think that's what we need to do. I think that this coming in the holidays, it can be very depressing. I know when Tanya and I first did our first Thanksgiving was just the two of us. It was cool, but it was also, we kind of went, wow, this is strange. And I couldn't imagine someone going through a holiday where they've had their family and suddenly they don't, or they're someone's going through a divorce and they have all that going on in the middle of the holidays, or the loss for us, like a loss of a child or a loss of a parent or a loss of a spouse, as Chuck deals with each year. Our sound guy, he deals with that. So there's a lot of people out there that we don't know, that you may not know, are feeling alone at times and lonely. So that's something to consider too. That's why we're trying to figure out what we're going to do with Shayna, because, if we're going to do things with her, awesome. If we're not, then we may, kind of reach out to some people in the church. So we'll see what happens with that.
And we're up in the air also. Hopefully the family will be here.
Hopefully the family will be here to get them out of Ukraine. That'd be awesome.
So Thanksgiving's coming up. Be prepared. Comes at the same time every year, just like Christmas comes at the same time every year. And if you haven't planned a budget by now, probably it's rice and beans. So
that's okay.
It's okay too.
Nothing wrong with that.
We want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you for a few minutes on Thanksgiving Day. But this has been David Towner, Sam McEwen. Live intentionally. Be very, very blessed. Have an awesome day.
Get that Operation Christmas Child box.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to TIMFD, Today is My Favorite Day. Views, comments, and opinions are those of the host and guest alone, and Dave and Sam are solely responsible for the content of this podcast. TIMFD is produced and directed by Alex Korn. Music is composed and performed by Chuck Vaught. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, live intentionally, and be very blessed.